Hey friends, welcome back to lecture series on ethical hacking. In this video, I'll be mainly talking about the how we are going to handle the files so that attacker will not be attacking the files, and also how these attackers will be cracking the passwords. First of all, going with the cracking the passwords is a simple process that will be implemented by the attacker. What he will be doing, he will be recovering the passwords from store or else transmitted data. Generally, once I am making some sort of communication with my friend, okay, the data will be transmitted in some sort of packets. The first starting packet may have the credential information. That particular data can be misused. In ethical hacking, what we will be doing, it will be performed in a controlled and moreover authorized environments. We do have as an ethical hacker, we do have the access privilege or authentication to check every individual password, username, every individual packet, the data flow and everything. So the password cracking involves uncovering the encrypted or else a hashed password. It may be by using some sort of guessing attacks, nothing but the brute force attack, other different type of techniques also. Why I'm calling it as a hashed password is nothing but to have in high security, especially the corporate employees. You can see here, once they want to log in, apart with the regular username and more passwords, what they will be using, they will be having some sort of mobile pass also. They will be having some sort of application related to the software company where they are working with. There a passkey will be generated, and the passkey will be a random number that will be generated. Generally, it is a pseudo-random key that will be generated. That thing has to be given as a multi-factor authentication. Okay, so generally these type of things will be called as a hash values that will be generated by the pseudo-random function or else any sort of hash function. It will be generating a hash value. It's a combination of alphabets and numerics and everything also. The methods for the cracking, the first thing is nothing but the brute force attack by default. It's a simple guessing attack, what maybe the password is of. Next, going with the directory attacks. Okay, it will be simply checking what are the predefined passwords that has been already available. First of all, we'll be checking or we'll be cracking by using those particular information that has been there in the directory level. Next, in the case of hybrid attacks, it's a combination of both alphabets and more of the numerics. But definitely it will be taking a large amount of time to crack the required passwords. Even if I'm having some sort of upper key combinations, lowercase, or else some sort of special characters, definitely it will be taking a large amount of time. But the sophisticated applications and systems what we are using nowadays, at least it is a particular limit after some so and so time period, definitely we can crack the required password, what maybe it is of. Or else we can go with the rainbow table attack. As I said, it is a pre-computed hash table. Suppose if I know what is the hash algorithm that has been used and what is the hash key that has been generated, what may be the secured key that has been used in order to encrypt that thing. If I know that particular information, I can have guessing things. So already the information will be available as a table, as a repository. By using those things, I will be go on checking what maybe the password is of. The main challenges and more of the limitations is nothing but the passwords are usually stored as a table, as a repository, has an hash values. But it will be taking a large amount of time to crack what the password is of. We have to always go with the strong passwords, combination of uppercase, lowercase, special characters, numericals, and all these things. And in the case of Linux environment, we do have a privilege of salting. Salting. What about this particular salt generation? Generally, not only in the case of Linux environments, nowadays in some sort of applications also I had seen these things. During the creation of your own account, you will be giving certain passwords and we will be giving the next time, re-type the same password. Okay, once a password has been given by the user, that will be stored as a repository by encrypting by using the salting technique. Here, the salting is nothing but a random number will be generated that will be called as a salt. Okay, that particular random number will be used in order to make the encrypting of the password which has been given by the user at the time of creation, and that will be maintained as a repository. At every instant of time after that, once a user is going to log in, once he is giving some sort of username or a password to check with the things as a repository, then only he will be having the privilege to enter into the system resources or also services. At every instant of time, the same random number that has been used at the time of creation will be once again used to make the required encryption, and that particular encrypted password will be cross-checked with the password that has been already maintained as a repository. If both has been matched, then it will be simply giving, okay, password is of matched, you can log in. So salt plays a vital role here. The salting techniques will be used by more of the web applications what we are using nowadays. So to make the required things possible, to make the prevention mechanisms, always we have to go with the strong passwords. We have to go with the multi-factor authentication. That implies, and in the case of Gmails also, we'll be getting the multi-factor authentication. At every instant of time, if I am logging, we'll be simply getting the required an alert saying that whether you are the person or not. I'll be clicking yes. Next, it will be giving some sort of combination of 3 numbers. The number that has been displayed on the monitor will be used here in the mobile application also. Then only I will be logging into my system. I can go with the third party authentication or else multi-factor authentication also. We have to go with the slow hash algorithms. We have to use different type of hashing techniques to generate these particular hashing values to provide much more security. And these are the different type of mechanisms can be used to make the things possible. I will be using different type of tools. These are some of the first tool that has been available. That is nothing but the John the Ripper. This is an open source tool. Okay, you can use these things to generate the required hash values. And we do have the hashcat also to generate the hash values. To crack the required password, okay, this particular hashcat cannot be used in the normal systems what we are using. It will be especially implemented in the GPU. Then only it will be taking a large amount of time to crack what maybe the password is of. We do have the OpCracks, we do have the Hydra, we do have the Brapsuit and different type of tools that has been available in the case of market to check to crack the required passwords. That's why only we should be very much cautious of defining the required passwords. Next to the passwords, here we will be talking about the next 2 slides. We will be talking about the hiding the required files. How we are going to hide the data from the attacker, and suppose how this particular attacker is also going to hide the data once he has gained the access. The 2 things we'll be discussing. The first of all, we'll be mainly talking about in the perception of the attacker. In the perception of the attacker, the hidden file and moreover cracking track is a simple technique. It is used by the attacker. What he will be doing is nothing but once he has gained the entire access, owing the box, once he has got the entire access of the entire system, okay, what he will be doing? He will be deleting or else he will be modifying the log files, and he makes a required operation in such a manner that what the files that has been accessed by the hacker, what the operation that has been performed by the hacker will be kept hidden. That is nothing but hiding the required files. So he will be hiding the data in such a manner that even if any legitimate user is requesting the data, it will not be available. As the attacker has gained the entire control, he has logged the data, he has hidden the data. So the ethical hacker should be in a capable position to understand this particular situation also. He has to use different type of techniques to strengthen the monitoring and more of the forensics capabilities. First of all, the attacker, what he will be doing, he will be, upon getting the entire access, he will be accessing the files and he will be modifying the files as per your own requirements. He will be changing the attributes, he will be renaming the files, he will be moving that particular file to the other locations also, which cannot be known to the a normal legitimate user. If the file has been renamed, I cannot access that particular file. If the file attributes has been changed, if the file access permissions has been changed, I cannot access as a genuine user. Apart with these things that has been done by the attacker, there is a chance of having the stealth technique also. Here, the attacker, what he will be doing, he will be using different type of backdoors or else trapdoors. He will be using different type of malicious tools also, okay, to make that file in the hidden state, stealth. It will be hidden. A normal user will not be seeing that particular files. And apart from this, he also makes a situation in such a manner that the attacker will be simply deleting the total traces of the operation what he has been carried out. Generally, every operation what we are doing will be maintained in the log files. If he got the entire access of the system, he can change the log files also. He can delete, he can modify. Any sort of things can be done. And finally, he will be covering the command history also. Okay, command line history will also be deleted. These are the different type of things that will be done by the attacker. So he will be using the file attribute manipulation techniques by changing the read to the write permissions or else write permissions to the read permissions. He can use different type of hidden directories to hide the required data. He can clean the log and moreover the total modifications, event logs, what he has been done. So these are the different type of techniques that will be used by the attacker. So the basic prevention techniques and measures that has to be implemented by the ethical hacker is nothing but, first of all, always have the proper monitoring on the file integrity. Regularly audit the integrity of the file that has been maintained at the server side and at the cloud side. Whether the data that has been stored at the cloud is of genuine or not. Whether the data has been updated by any other third parties without any sort of intervention from the owner or not. A centralized logging mechanism should be there. Okay, the total log history should be maintained. We should have an endpoint detection and moreover the response team should be there. If any uneven situation has been occurred, we should be in a capable position to make the things possible within minute of seconds itself. We have to we have to check about the least privileged access also. Never give the permissions to anyone if you are working with the sensitive data. If anything has been happened, we should be in a capable position to get the data recovered. So backup recovery should be properly maintained. So to avoid all the things from the attacker, what a normal person has to do, he will be following these particular techniques, file hiding mechanisms. So it will be simply concern about the conceal the files from the normal user view. A legitimate user like me, like an ethical hacker like me, what I will be doing, I will be using a technique to conceal the entire files, which are more sensitive, which cannot be seen for a normal user. So it will be avoiding the detection of that particular files. So once a file has been hidden properly, the attacker cannot access that data. Somehow he has logged into the system. We are not using that particular service. At least go with the changing the filing attributes. Not to give the write permissions, give only read permissions if I am working with the least sensitive data. Not to have a direct view on the data, better rename the data with a different type of file names. Better to change the directories also. Better to change the file extensions also. I'll be expecting the required file which are more sensitive with the PDF, suppose for example. Okay, change the extension of that particular file. What is that? Okay, or else we go with the alternative data streaming techniques, or else go not to store in this particular place, store the data in a high secured environment. So this is how I can handle the required files to maintain the data in the secured manner from the attackers. The common place what we will be using is nothing but I will be using different type of hidden folders or else directories. I can rename the names of the file, or else I can change the required extension of that particular files. I can store the data in the high secured environments by going with the alternate data streams if I am working with the sensitive data. And I also provide some sort of techniques in such a manner that those particular files can be accessed only through the command line interface by using some sort of passwords as a key. So these are about the different type of mechanisms and methods can be used to make the data in a hidden manner. So, dear friends, in the entire second unit, we are mainly talking about the system hacking mechanisms and more of the enumeration. The first part will be talking mainly about the system enumeration. Okay, Windows environment enumeration, gathering information from multiple services, SNMP, SMTP, NetBAS, LADP, different type of things. And the second part will be mainly talking about the system hacking. What are the different type of mechanisms that will be used to crack the passwords? Once a system has got the control by the hacker, how we are going to hide them? Okay, how are the different type of prevention and also preventive mechanisms that has to be followed and the entire thing. Thank you.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.